Hello and good evening, everyone. So we are back with another session. Sorry for the delay that the session was scheduled at 6 o'clock and it started a bit late. We were actually facing some technical issues. So today we will be starting with the digital forensics topics. This will be the first topic we will be discussing today. And today we have with us Mr. Yugul Pathak. Um, he will be talking about the fundamentals of digital forensics. So, Mr. Yugul Pathak, sir, who is also known as Cyber UV, has various gems of certifications in his profile, including CCNA, CSAP, DFE, CCIT, CCICT, CMO, and he has been recently working as digital forensics analyst and cyber crime investigator. He is a skilled professional who has experience in helping law enforcement agencies in solving crimes. He has also worked with law enforcement agencies, and there is a lot more to tell about him. But let's get this session handed over to Yugul sir, and he will talk about it. What are the various opportunities? What are the various things he has worked on? Yugul sir? I guess Yugul sir got disconnected. He will be connecting just in a moment. Okay, so Yugul sir is back, and the audience has already had a brief introduction about you and your experience in digital forensics, and they are excited to know a bit more about you before the session gets started. So, handing over the session to you, please take it forward. Your way, sir.
Okay, so firstly, am I audible clearly?
Yes, sir, completely audible.
Okay, fine. So first of all, I would like to thank Nitinji for inviting me, and it's a great honor to be here today. Just let me check. Yeah. So talking about digital forensics, I guess I'll not be able to interact with the audience, right? Because it's live streamed, right?
Yes, sir. If you feel like interacting, you can actually interact with using the Google. Sorry, the live chat of YouTube. You can see the responses over there.
Okay, I can see the live responses, right? Okay, fine. Okay, I got it. Let me stream to that, because if anyone has any questions or something, I would be able to see it. It would be better. Yeah, I can see the live there. So, shall we start, Faizan?
Sure, sir. It's all yours.
Okay, fine. So, first of all, welcome all the participants here. I am very happy to speak on digital forensics because it has been always my favorite subject. And this area is only the part of my life which I enjoy the most, and I like to talk about also. I like to work about also. And first of all, I would like to welcome you all for the internship. You all are doing internship here. It's your first step towards coming into the cyber world. Okay, and once you are uh, completing this internship, I hope you all will be becoming the cyber volunteers or cyber warriors, or joining us into our field. And the people who are not doing the internship but still seeing the session, they can also join Nikhilji's internship. It's a very good program which is helping people learn about cyber security, and he's creating a lot of good awareness. So it's a very good initiative. Now coming about today's topic about digital forensics. So here I see that very okay. Good evening to everyone. I'm just sharing my screen, and let's start today. What about digital forensics is? Faizan, please give me the permission to share my screen. Hi, Faizan, please give
So
me the
you
permission
have
to share.
the permissions now.
Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Is my screen visible? Yeah, I guess my screen is visible. Faizan, my screen was coming up or not?
No, sir. It's not yet visible.
Hello,
Yes, sir.
my screen was coming up.
No, sir. It's like your screen is not yet visible.
Okay, wait, let me check. Yeah, is it visible now? Is it visible?
No, sir.
Is it visible?
Yes, sir, it's visible now.
Mirror. Yeah, just I'm sharing it again. Let's see if it's sharing. Is my screen coming up?
Perfect, sir. It's visible now. It's perfectly
Okay.
visible.
Yeah, let's begin now. So basically, my name is Yugal Pathak, and I'm working right now as a digital forensic analyst in ESET Corte Technologies, which is a cybersecurity and digital forensics company, which is working in this domain from a long time. And basically, talking about today's topic, we'll be talking on DFIR, a storehouse of challenges. And I say one quote always in my every presentation: security is a myth, but I don't believe it anymore. Security is a nightmare in digital forensics nowadays. The reason is because security, more than amount of security is there, more challenges for a digital forensic analyst, and how I'll tell you later. So this is about me. My name is Yugal Pathak, and I'm a digital forensic analyst, researcher, cybercrime investigator, and I'm author and member of a digital forensic magazine. I basically earlier worked with law enforcement agencies like Uttarakhand Police, with companies like Systems, NCR Corporation, and in certain. And I have worked as a role of digital forensic examiner in various law enforcement, and I'm training actively police departments and different law enforcement organizations in digital forensics, and similarly working in raising awareness about digital forensics, how important it is, and people should adopt it. People should not just escape from digital forensics. They should go for the forensic arbitration and forensic analysis of each and every cyber incident. So, talking about today's agenda, first we'll be going to what is introduction to digital forensics. Then we'll be talking about fundamentals of forensics. Then what are the laws in cyber forensics? Then what is the investigative process? What is chain of custody? What is securing the crime scene means? And then what documentation means, authority and objectives of digital forensics, and report writing. And last, we'll be going for question and answers. So starting with what we have. In digital forensics, before starting forensics, we talk about digital footprint. What is digital footprint? Digital footprint basically means whatever we are giving different kind of online services we are using. We are posting some things, we are downloading some things, we are uploading some things, we are filling some forms. Whatever we are doing on digital world, everything is written somewhere. It may exist into digital form, it may exist into physical form, it may exist into some form of an image, some audio, video, anything, or maybe deleted in form of some cache or something. But whatever we are doing, it has some kind of trace which is left everywhere. We think what we are doing on our laptops, on our cell phones, iPads, we are communicating, doing everything. It is not recorded anywhere, but yeah, it is recorded. It is recorded and it is being stored somewhere far away into some cloud servers or into some kind of devices in some kind of servers, or into some devices in form of browsing histories, in form of different kind of caches. Okay, so whatever we say, we believe that whenever we are into digital world, whatever we are speaking, we are actually, what I believe, we are speaking in a huge auditorium, speaking to public, and whatever we are doing, they are recording it and distributing it. I give you example. Your phone number, your email ID is connected to multiple places, from Amazon to Instagram to Facebook to your Aadhaar to your bank account to your educational records to your parents records to your personal life. It's all connected, even your job also. So having a phone number, having an email address can tell a lot about you if a proper investigation is being carried out. And these traces are joining each other and forming a complete chain, which chain takes you to the bars if you are doing some kind of crime. Now, I show you an image here of digital footprint. See, a foot is there in which different kind of social media accounts are being shown. This is what is digital footprint. When you are going for a physical footprint, what happens? The physical footprint may be deleted once or twice or sometime. You know, the reason because of why it is deleted is because someone may have removed it, someone may have deleted it. But when you are in the case of digital footprint is never deleted. It is always existing and it will be existing for years. Not only today, it will be existing for next many years. Okay. Now comes the question, what is digital forensics? Now in forensics, we have only one agenda. Whatever digital footprint a criminal is leaving, we are trying to find it, we are trying to arbitrate it, to investigate it, and present it into a manner that it can be taken into the court of law. It can be presented into the court of law. And presented into the court of law is the main purpose of acquiring the evidence. You take the evidence, you keep that evidence with you, you tamper it out, it will never be acceptable into the court. If you read it here properly, it is a process of applying scientific analytical techniques to computers, network, digital devices. We are applying all the scientific techniques in forensics. There is nothing called some kind of theorems or some kind of you can say postulates or something. In this, we have just a proper algorithm which will be either giving the result or not giving the result. We don't believe in it can be, it may be, it shall be. We believe in it will be or it not will be. Simple. It's integration of identification. First, we are identifying the evidence. Then after identification, our second work is assessment. Now assessment, why? Because for example, I'll give you example. If you go to a crime scene, we say every electronic item can be a digital evidence. Yes, every electronic item can be a digital evidence, but not all electronic items. For example, in a home, there is a mobile phone, there is a tablet, there is a computer, there is a desktop, there is a laptop. These are electronic devices. A washing machine is also an electronic device. A microwave oven is also an electronic device. Or you may have some kind of other devices like printer, they are also electronic devices. Now, assessment means you have to assess what can be a possible evidence or not. You are going to a cyber cafe, there are 50 computers, you cannot seize them all. If may required, you can seize them all, but you cannot seize all the 50 computers. The main objective that time will be assessing which computer may have the data or which system should I seize so I get the required data. Because if you seize all the systems, it won't do any help to you, but increase your burden, because you will have to then analyze 50 systems. If each also of 2 TB, you have 100 TB of data to analyze, which is a very big challenge for you. It will take you nightmares to complete it. And in other scenario, if you seize a single computer which is having 2 TB of data and which can contain your evidence and you identify it, that will be a good job for yourself. So assessment is very, very important. Next is seizure. Now, seizure should be a lawful seizure. It is not that you catch the criminal and you snatch the phone from his hand and run away. That's not actually seizure. Seizure is basically you are properly documenting what you are taking from the crime scene and what you are leaving there. You are leaving a seizure memo. You are leaving a receipt of taking away the evidence from the criminal, which will be later produced into the court. And it also has a signature of witnesses present there who are witnessing that, yeah, everything was done lawfully. There was no unlawful attempt to snatch the evidence. Because if later he claims that this was an unlawful attempt to snatch the evidence from me, the evidence may not be taken into the court, right? The next is preservation. Now you have seized the evidence, you are imaging it, analyzing it. Now, imaging means if you are not able to seize the evidence, then what you are doing, you are taking an image, exact copy of the evidence, which you can analyze later. And if you are taking the evidence, then also you are making an image of the evidence because you are never working on the actual evidence or the real evidence. Okay. So after that, you are doing the analysis. In analysis phase, what you are doing, analysis phase, you are analyzing what data is of use, what data is of not use, how relevant data can be connected to some kind of case or crime scene. And at last, you are preserving the evidence because the cases may go far away for years. Like, for example, if a case is there in Indian courts, it can go from 1 year to 2 year to 3 year to 5 years for the hearings of the cases to complete. So in that case, we have to preserve the evidence because in any point of time, if a reinvestigation is ordered or the evidence need to be reanalyzed, in that case, the evidence should be present there or a copy of evidence should be there, which can be taken into regard. So in that case, you have to understand it is not a single process, digital forensics. It is a complete series of different processes, a chain of processes: identification, assessment, seizure, preservation, imaging, analysis, and at last reporting, creating a report which can be produced into the court and which can be verified by the judge, by the lawyers, by the police officials, and even the offender and the defense. Everyone should agree to the format of the report. If someone disagrees or the court does not accept it, then the report is of no use. Now, branches of digital forensics. I see here there are a lot of branches and it is a reality. Digital forensics is a very wide field. Some people think digital forensics is a field. I say digital forensics is a subject because it has a lot of fields inside it. It is not only associated with only forensics of computers and mobile devices. It is also associated with network forensics, with multimedia forensics, live device forensics. Live device means there are servers, there are incidents where we are doing the live forensics, where we are taking the live data, memory dumps. We are doing the memory forensics. We are doing IoT forensics. We are doing proactive forensics. Proactive forensics means in the incident response, you are finding the logs and checking out if some things are going to happen. Someone is trying to break the networks or something. Then you're doing disk forensics, you're doing cloud forensics, you're doing email forensics. So everything in digital world has something which can be investigated. And so the forensics is possible. Now, database forensics, IoT forensics, these all are new branches. For example, I have some more branches which are not added into the slide. Like, for example, blockchain forensics is there. Cryptocurrency is a very big challenge nowadays. Cryptocurrency forensics is there. Drone forensics is there. Drone devices are on the hike and everyone is using drone devices nowadays. Although the authorities have limited the drone flying capabilities now, but still drones are being used. So drone forensics is also a very big challenge. Then next comes the challenges of SSDs. Okay, SSD device forensics is another challenge. So now talking about digital forensic investigation processes. First is identification. Then I told in identification, we have to do the assessment. Then the next one is seizure or acquisition. Now there is a difference in seizure and acquisition. If you're seizing the device, you may seize the device and you may bring it there and later you may acquire it. If you're doing the acquisition, in that case, you are not taking the device with you. You are just taking the image of the device. So in that case, you have to make sure that the evidence is actually proper and it is worth using into your analysis. For example, if you make an image of a device and the image is incomplete, and when you come to the lab, you realize the image is incomplete and you are not able to actually get any data from it. You will not be able to image it. Mind my words, you will not be able to image the evidence again because the once the crime scene is done and once the evidence is into the lab, very less chances are there you will get the original evidence again for imaging second time. And when you are doing some kind of cases where you are doing kind of income tax raids or something, the original evidence imaging is not possible, because while you are doing the raid you had the time to image the evidence. You could have a proper image, but if you are not able to image it properly, in that case you will not get the evidence again, because the entire process cannot be taken up. Okay. And second thing, integrity verification. Now, integrity verification of an image is a very, very important part in digital forensics. Okay, anyone here who knows about what is integrity verification in digital forensics? You may comment on the chat, in the live chat. Anyone knows what is integrity verification? What I'm talking about? Anyone? Integrity verification. No one? Okay, fine. So let me tell to you. Integrity verification basically means whatever image you have created of a device, whatever image you have created of a yeah, checking hash values I got from Lakshit Jain, very good. So yeah, whatever image you have made, whatever devices you have image there, you are actually checking the data inside the devices is actually the same. Okay, I got many comments now. Checking connection between two things to verify if evidence has not been tampered or manipulated. Okay, Megha data is not duplicate. Okay, and Kushagra says preservation of evidence, checking the correctness. Okay, fine. Yeah, I got to see many comments here. But yeah, Victor told the right thing to verify if the evidence has not been tempered or manipulated. And also, I will say those who have said checking hash values, that is also correctly right. Okay, hash is only not one method for verifying the integrity. There are other methods also. Yeah, hash verification is most famous and most reliable method in digital forensics, and the court accepts it only. Okay, so integrity verification basically means the data between A evidence and the data between B evidence, they should be same. They should be the exact copy. No changes should be done into this. Their MAC details, modified access created details, should not be changed. Their size should be same. Okay, whenever you're trying to match their hashes, the hashes should be same. So when all these things are verified, the integrity is verified for a digital image. Now, next comes analysis. In analysis, we are analyzing what digital evidence contains and what are the proper artifacts. Yeah, we use the word artifacts in digital forensics. Most people don't know these terms, so I would say all the evidences which we bring into a lab, we call them exhibits, and all the things we pick out from them are called artifacts. Okay, or we call evidences. So all the artifacts we are taking out from digital devices, we are keeping them, we are aligning them, we are creating a report regarding them. And after the report preparation, we are submitting it to law enforcement or judiciary to verify that whatever report we have given is matching the case or not. And always remember, studying the case history while analyzing the case is very, very important, because if you don't know what is the case about, you will never be able to find out the evidence, because the evidence may contain thousands and lakhs of files. It may contain many, many drives, many, many devices, and you will not be able to correlate on that. So reading a brief history of the case is very, very important. Now, in digital forensics, I'll say, see, first of all, we got a smartphone. We are putting it into forensic tools. In forensic tools, we are firstly using write blocker. Okay. In write blocker, we are basically safeguarding the device from being written or the data inside the device from being edited. Once the data is being secured, then we are imaging it. We are creating a backup of mobile phone. We are extracting the things from it out. We are doing the analysis of the evidence. And at the last, we are doing verification and validation. Right? This is a simple process I showed it here. In case of mobile phone, it's the same. In case of digital devices like USB drive, like hard drive, like SSD, it will be same. Now, talking about the roles in digital forensic, there are two roles. First is the role of first responder, and second is the role of computer forensic analyst. Now, the role of first responder is very, very crucial, I say, than forensic analyst. The role of forensic analyst is not even less, but yeah, role of a computer forensic first responder is a very, very important part, because first responder is only the person who is going to the crime scene. Anyone has any questions? I'll be asking in the last. Keep your questions with you. In the last, you'll be posting on the chat, and I'll be replying to it. Okay. So yeah. So recording the crime scene basically means whenever a first responder goes there, he'll be the first person to reach the crime scene, to see the crime scene, and he will be checking out what evidences exist there, what volatile evidences are there, what non-volatile evidences are there, how many hard disks are there, what should be the proper, what will be the probable evidence, okay, and what will be admissible evidence. Okay, probable evidence means evidence which can be probably evidence. It is called a probable evidence, and the evidence which will be admissible into the court, it will be admissible evidence. Okay, once verified. Now, he will be also containing the intrusion, means, for example, if there is some kind of crime going on there and he is intruting to the crime and stopping the crime, taking away the evidence and correcting everything, he will be preserving the evidence, protecting it, packing it, sealing it, and bringing into lab. Now, till the evidence comes to the lab, a long timeline is there. And that timeline is very, very important, because if the evidence is reaching into a stage to the lab where it is already tempered or broken or something has happened to the evidence, forensic analysts cannot do anything. That evidence is of no use. The entire process from crime scene to the lab is all carried by a first responder, and this first responder is a very, very important person. In India, mostly the first responder role is being played by the police officials. So we try actively involving them and actively awareing them how forensic measures should be taken to keep the evidence secure. And I will request you all, after the completion of internship, you should also do the same thing. You should be awareing the law enforcement and helping them out to keep the evidence secure so that it reaches the lab securely and then it can be analyzed. This is my request to all of you. So first responder has a very, very crucial role, and although there's a, unfortunately in India, first responders are not given that much importance, how much of forensic analysis is given, but actually it should be reversed. First responder should be given more importance than a forensic analyst, because forensic analyst will be able to do anything to the evidence only when the evidence is reaching into the right form. Now, coming next. Now, I'll be discussing some basic principles of forensics. Now, what are the principles of forensics? All the general forensic and legal rules must be followed while working with the digital data. Remember, whatever you are working on is not a normal hard disk or your personal device. It is actually a evidence. You will be going into the court, and the court may accept it or not accept it. So you have to follow all the legal rules, all the laid principles, and if you miss any of them, you may land into trouble or the evidence may be discarded. Second, upon seizing digital evidence, action taken should not change the integrity of evidence. You should not open the evidence any way before reaching the lab. If anyone says you, even if the in charge says you, even if the head says you, even if any official says you, you are not required to open the digital evidence or do anything with it till it does not reach the lab. Okay. When accessing original digital proof is required, an individual should be educated for the task. Now, when anyone is collecting digital proofs or digital evidences from any place, it should be an educated person. Do not believe on anyone or any third person to collect the evidence for you. You cannot even believe on the people standing at the crime scene. Don't even ask them to do it for you. You have to do it yourself. You can't even say some kind of police person standing there that, please pick up the evidence for me, please put it into the bag, please seal it, I'll be just taking it out, I'm just busy with something. No, you have to do it yourself. It has to be done from your hands, because if he mishandles the evidence or something happens, you will be responsible. Digital evidence handling operation must be meticulously recorded kept and made accessible for review at all times. Whenever you are taking the digital evidence from the crime scene, a proper photography, video recording, and a timeline should be made. A timeline is very, very important. Evidence was collected at 9:40, evidence was imaged at 9:48, imaging started, 9:50 the imaging completed, or I say 10 o'clock the imaging completed, 10:02 the evidence was disconnected, and on 10:05 the evidence was returned to the original owner. Okay, the copy was made in this much time, the copy was completed, integrity verification started at 10:02, integrity verification completed at 10:05. Everything has to be recorded. If you don't record it, and tomorrow someone asks you in the court, a 2 TB hard disk takes this much time for imaging. Why it took less time or more time? And you don't have the records, you are into trouble. The reason is because every step you have taken will be verified to the court. The judges will be also verifying it. The lawyers into the court will be trying their best to discard your evidence as not acceptable to the court, because that is actually making your case strong. And in that case, what can save you is all the timeline you have made, the every minute detail you have recorded for the evidence. That can save you up. While the digital proof is in their control and individual is accountable for all the actions they are taking regarding, you keep the evidence into your pocket, you keep it into your bag, you put it into your home, the evidence gets broken, the evidence gets damaged, the evidence is not working, the evidence is lost, anything happens, you are responsible for it. The court will be holding you responsible because it was in your custody. Chain of custody is a document we have into digital forensics, which is basically giving this power only to the judiciary to maintain a chain of custody. Whose custody the evidence is going from whose, and who is the custodian is liable for all the things happening to the evidence, whether it is happening in his knowledge or without his knowledge. He will be held accountable. Any entity in charge of collecting, accessing, keeping, transferring digital proof is in charge of adhering to these rules. You are collecting the evidence, accessing, keeping, transferring, doing anything, even from a first responder, a police official, to a lawful person, or you can say commissioner, IPS officer, 3-rank officer, a 2-rank officer. Okay, and there is a lab technician, the lab scientist, the director of the lab, anyone who is working with the evidence. Everyone has to adhere with the same laws. The law is same for everyone, and judiciary does not compromise, or judiciary does not make difference in anyone according to their designation or according to their power or something. If the evidence is being tampered, all will be held liable in the hierarchy. So now, identification, isolation, description, collection, packaging, transportation. Now it's a simple chart here. At the crime scene, what happens, and after the crime scene, what happens? See, first identification happens of the evidence, then isolation of the evidences from the crime scene area. Okay, so that the evidence is not lost and it is into the clear side. Then description of the evidence, it is written into different records. Then collection of evidence, we are collecting, okay, from a preset procedures. Then we are packaging the evidence into bubble wraps, into shrink wraps, into the boxes, into the thermocols. We are sealing it with the lac. Okay, we are putting the government seal on it. We are sewing it into the cotton bags, and then we are transporting it out. Ensuring the transportation is also a very important part. That time also the chain of custody is maintained. The whosoever person is transporting it also become the part of chain of custody. Then after it is completed, it is being received at the reception of the forensic lab. In the reception, they'll be verifying everything from the beginning, from identification to transportation. They'll be verifying the hash and everything, all the documentation. They'll be checking the authority letter, under whose authority the evidence is being brought to the lab, who has ordered the investigation, what is the case, what is the details of the case. They'll be watching the FIR copy, they'll be watching the summon or something from the court or everything. And once they verify it, they'll be receiving and taking the evidence. They'll be giving you a copy of it, OC, officer's copy. Then they'll be processing the evidence. Okay, while processing the evidence, they'll be doing the expert examination, they'll be breaking the seal, and whatever they are doing, they'll be also recording it inside the lab. Okay, they'll be also creating their own records, whatever they are doing inside the lab, because tomorrow they have to present the same to the court. After processing, they'll be storing it for future proof. They'll be disposing if it needs to be disposed, if it is something confidential, or they'll be transporting it into the secure storages. And once the case is over and the release order is being ordered from the court, the evidence is being destroyed. Now, destruction has also to be very secure destruction. The evidence should not be into the hands of some unlawful person after even the completion of case. Again, the destruction is also very lawful. Okay. Now coming next, the chain of custody. Chain of custody in digital forensics is basically denoting what is the possession, who is having the evidence, and it is a chronological recording of the same. It denotes the collection, order of management, transmission, analysis, and everything in the digital forensics. The person is asking me what certification do I need to go into digital forensics. I'll be covering it very soon. Just keep live streaming. Okay. Yeah. To pose the integrity, to protect the integrity of the digital evidence, we are basically having an electronic proof, and the electronic proof is a document which is called chain of custody. Okay. Now, the court always asks you for this chain of custody document for a 65B certificate from whosoever is analyzing the evidence. He'll be asking for a seizure certificate which you have given to the person while seizing the evidence, and also they'll be asking you all the documentation and reporting whatever you have carried out in the evidence. So the journey begins from chain of custody, then recording the crime scene, chain of custody, then we are having 65B, we are having seizure memo, we are having the all the seizure documents there. Okay, after that we are going to the lab. In the lab we have analysis, reporting, we have the final report created, the expert witness report, everything. And all these documents, the entire bundle goes into the court. The court verifies it. Once the court verifies it, then the evidence is being taken into the court and taken into the case. So without any of the document not being there, the case evidence will be discarded. Now imaging. Now while imaging, you have to keep two things into the mind. I'll not go into the depth of digital forensics, but it will take a lot of time. But yeah, I'll be covering the overview today. Imaging of digital evidence, you have to keep two things into the mind. First, the MAC details. Now, MAC means not the MAC address, media access control address. No, it means modified access created. In digital forensics, MAC means modified access created. When the evidence was created, the file was created, when it was modified last, when it was accessed. If there's any digital hard disk also, evidence also, the MAC details are there present into the metadata. Okay, when it was modified, when it was accessed, when it was created. Once you have those details, then you can verify the seized original hard disk and its image should be matching. Like for example, if you are seizing the hard disk today, the MAC detail should be of yesterday. It should not be of tomorrow. Because if you have seized the hard disk today and the modified access created details are of tomorrow, means you have actually accessed the hard disk after being seizure, and accessing the hard disk after being seizure, or modifying anything and accessing anything or creating anything inside the hard disk after the seizure is unlawful, and it will make the evidence tempered and it will not be accepted into the court. The last modified date of all the files into the digital device should be before the seizure time, because after seizure time you are always using a write blocker. You are blocking the writing access into the hard disk or the device while doing the analysis. So nothing should be accessed or modified or created after the seizure. So this is a very notable thing. Whenever you are getting a digital evidence, always note that the MAC details of the evidence should be of the before, whenever the seizure was done. If it is not, then the evidence has been tempered. It is another way of verifying, except the hash value. Now, direct analysis of the original evidence is strictly forbidden. You should not even try it. You should not even thinking of try it, because if you try it, then nothing will be left. It is already done. Okay. Now, first, what it will do, it will change the MAC address, last modified, last accessed, last created. Then analyzing the live file system or original evidence is also changing the state of the files, and some files may be lost. Analysis on original evidence makes it tempered digital evidence. Digital evidence will not be accepted by the court and make it useless. And the solution is you have to make a clone or image of the original digital evidence and you have to analyze that image. And always we are making two images. One is the master copy and one is the working copy. Master copy will be kept secured in case of the original evidence is being destroyed or original evidence is being damaged. The master copy acts as the original evidence. Although you will have to put the 65B certificate there, but it will be acting as the original evidence in case of the absence of original evidence, the master copy. So whenever you are making the images also, you have to make the two images. You will not be doing anything with the master copy. It will be kept secure. Working copy is one which will be working on. And you can make as many as working copies you want. You can make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as many as times you want. You can make working copies. But whenever you are verifying the integrity of the working copy, again, you have to use either the master copy or the original evidence to verify. Once the integrity of the working copy is being verified from the master copy or the original evidence, then only you have to work on it. Now, logical copy or the backup of hard disks. Okay, logical copy basically means you are creating the image of whatever is live going on to the hard disk, the active data. I say about active data means whatever actively is stored into your hard disk, you are currently viewing it. That is the logical copy. All the deleted files, all the files which are hidden, or all the files which are into the unallocated area, or the files flag will not be coming up when you are making a logical copy. So whenever you are unsure of what the data may be deleted or not, or the data may be left into some hidden areas. In that case, you should always go for a physical copy. Although physical copy takes more space, and the physical copy will take more time. But yeah, you should always go for the cloning or the physical copy. Logical copy or the logical imaging will not work in that case if you want to do the deleted data recovery. Anyhow you try, the best you try, you will never be able to get any data from the logical copy because it does not contains the volume shadow copy, the file flag, it does not contains anything like that. The swap files from the system will not be available. Okay. And whenever you are taking a physical copy, you have one more advantage. You can actually boot up the physical evidence as a normal drive, as an original drive, whenever you are going for the physical copy. Because in physical copy, you will be copying the operating system, the data drive, the everything. So later, if you want, you can boot up the drive when you are doing the physical copy. When you're doing the logical copy, you just have the data inside it, and that also the active data, no digital data is present. So understand the difference. Okay, yeah, see, I have difference here. Logical copy is the copy of active directory or the active data inside the file. Okay, it does not have any residual or deleted data such as slack space. Physical copy generally has, which is called, which we call as forensic imaging or cloning or mirror image. It is the bit-to-bit copy of original media, and it includes free space, slack space, everything. Okay. Now moving forward, advantages of having the image of original digital evidence. Analyzing the image of digital evidence will preserve the original evidence. It will prevent the changes, and it will clone image may be created again if required. If you have one clone, you can create 10 clones of the same evidence and you can use it again. Okay. If you have worked already on an original evidence and you change the files, you will not be able to get the original files again. Now, disk write blockers. Now, disk write blocker is preventing writing of data to the suspect original drive. See, this is how a write blocker looks. I'm sorry for the text got hidden. This is the original write blocker, how it looks. The Tableau write blocker is this. And it comes into different forms. It comes into the forensic bridge form, the forensic bay. It comes from USB write blockers. We have different kind of write blockers there. But write blockers basic purpose is that you can only copy the data from the drive. You cannot create a file there. You cannot delete a file there. You cannot cut something from there. The cut, copy. The cut, and delete, and new options are deleted. Only copy and viewing is allowed. You can just copy the data and you can just view the data. You cannot change or edit the data. That is the purpose of write blocker. Now, best practices for imaging. Always ensure that integrity and security of the evidence is being maintained. Okay. Secondly, always the suspected evidence must be connected through write blocker. Then third, the destination disk should be freshly wiped. Okay, do not copy anything into a disk already having the data. If you are analyzing a device, please do not do this when a disk is having a lot of data, like it's a 2 TB hard disk. It is having already 1 TB of data, and you think that 1 TB is empty. I can copy another case into this same drive only. No, it will be rendered useless. So always use a fresh sanitized disk. Okay, it should be wiped. Now, next thing. Also, always remember what is source and what is destination. Do not do some foolish mistake. Sometimes what happens, a person connects the source drive into the target and target drive into the source. So actually, you will be wiping the complete data of a drive by connecting, by cloning it from a blank drive. So always remember what is source and what is destination. The entire disk imaging is better than volume-wise imaging, partition-wise imaging, and every action should be documented. When the imaging is starting, when the completed, as I told you, everything should be documented into a document. Now, see the flow chart. There is suspect media. We connect the write blocker. We read it bit by bit. We generate unique hash. Okay. Mark the hash value as N1. We create another image. Okay. Read it bit by bit through write blocker. Write bit by bit and make 3 copies. That is police, court, FSL, and defense counsel. 3 copies we are making. See, 3 working copies. This is the master copy, and this is the working copies. Okay. And then we generate the hash, and then we are matching N1 from N2, N3, and N4. When N1 equals to N2 equals to N3 equals to N4 equals to original evidence, then it will be considered a proper imaging session. If anyone is changed, then you have to create another image. Now, moving forward, this is how a computer system looks. If anyone does not know, so this is a SMPS power supply. Okay. Then this is the CD DVD drive. Okay. Then the floppy drives were earlier there. Then hard disk is there. Hard disk is having non-volatile data. There is a CMOS battery, the clock of the computer. It also contains very vital data about when the system was turned on, turned off. What are the security logs of the system? It is all stored in the CMOS battery. And we have the RAM here, which is the volatile data into the RAM slot. So this is a basic inside view of a chassis of a computer. Now, best practices. Document the make, model, serial number, and size of hard disk into multiple forms like chain of custody, CJ note as required. Document the make, model means the make of a drive will be Samsung, model will be Samsung, whatever you are using, Evo, Samsung Pro, Samsung, whatever series you are using. Then the serial number. Okay, serial number is very, very important, because what happens whenever you are taking a digital device and the digital device is being taken into the code won't see the device is of Samsung or WD or Seagate. They just see the serial number. The serial number should be exactly same. Even if you change a single digit of the serial number, the evidence will not be accepted. The serial number of the target drive, the source drive, and the copies, the drives in which you are making the copies, the working copies, everything should be noted. The size of the hard disk should be noted exact, not 1000 GB. You should note it 1024 GB. Okay. And it should be recorded and it should be saved into the chain of custody, seizure note, everything. Okay. The capacity of suspected hard disk should be noted before connecting it to write blockers. Be cautious when you are choosing the source and destination. You may reverse it and everything will go waste. And always select the forensic images raw image type, which could be accepted by all freeware as commercial tool. Although we are always going for .E01, nowadays E01 is also accepted by everyone, but yeah, the raw type is the one which is accepted by everyone, like the Linux and Windows. You can work on both. Now, integrity of digital evidence. So what I said, it is verified by a hash value. Hash values are of different types, like MD5 is there, SHA-1 is there, SHA-12 is there, SHA-256, SHA-512. Many different hashes are there. Now, hash is basically the message digest of all the data inside a hard disk or inside a digital device. All the data present inside it is there, right? Now, Authority letter. This is the authority letter format. See here. To dash the receiver's name, the receiver's address, date, authorization letter for collection of whatever documents or something. Okay. This is the complete format where you can, it comes into the same format whenever you're collecting some kind of digital evidence. And this is basically on the next slide. See, here it is the how a forensic report looks. Now, coming to the limitations and geographical differences into the forensics. Now, coming to the challenges. There are different challenges. First, the geography-based challenges means, for example, sometimes the evidence may be far away from where you are right now. So the remote acquisition may be tough, and sometimes what happens, the evidence is present into some kind of body or some kind of place where there are legal challenges, where you cannot reach directly, it's beyond your reach. And sometimes there are differences into the judiciary position. Like for example, the district judge is ordering for some kind of investigation, and the higher judges disallowing it, or higher judges changing the decision. So there are different kind of challenges here, and the most important challenge we have is in the technological expertise. Like technological expertise of digital forensic professionals should be very, very good. If it is not there, then there will be a challenge. Second comes, yeah, so it comes into the efficiency rattling. Now, what is there? Firstly, the efficiency of our digital devices nowadays is the capacity is very high. We have the problem of plenty and problem of volume. See, there are plenty of hard disks. Nowadays, when you are going to the crime scene, you don't get a single laptop. You get 5, 6 laptops, 8, 10 laptops. Okay. Okay, it's a humble request. Please share the screen in 1080p because we're not able to. I'm really sorry. I'm not live streaming right now. Let me check if there is any option. But actually, I'm not live streaming it. Okay. I guess it's clearly visible now. Now, expertise means the recovery, retrieval of digital and corrupt data is very, very much tough sometimes, because you are actually, going into the very, very depth of the system. Like sometimes there are root files, the registry files, the HPA has the data, the DCO has the data may be hidden into the firmware files. So in that case, the expertise, a lot of good expertise is required. Then next comes the time lapse in data recovery, retrieval, like volatile data is there, the external influences, you are having a lot of cases and you're not able to analyze the data into the required time and it was required into the code. That is also a challenge. And next challenge is anti-forensic. Anti-forensic softwares, like, there are many, many platforms today here. Many phones are there who are having anti-forensic features, anti-forensic software. No forensic tool is working on them. No forensic tool is actually recognizing it. So it's actually what is, the challenges. So talking about challenges, I'll say 5 challenges. Firstly, efficiency of our machines to run the forensic software. Secondly, our expertise. Third is data recovery. The data is a lot of pool and recovering it is a very big task. The next is timely action. the timely presence into the crime scene, the timely analysis, the timely capturing of volatile data, and the last will be anti-forensics. Now, moving forward. Now, I have a case here. A company suspected 2 of its senior employees to be involved in the data pilferage and unethical gains. Therefore, they had referred the matters to IRIS, a company, okay, to conduct digital forensics. Initial forensics showed that both the machines' data was missing from years 2012 to 2015, the period which was under suspect. However, no data was attempted to be deleted by the users. Later, when it was organized, a CC Cleaner named software was used to delete the data, including the history, cookies, everything from the system. And the said software also helped the users mounted the platform so he may not leave any traces, and he encrypted the complete data into storage drives and left the system without data. So see, these are common anti-forensic techniques. You can encrypt the data, you can delete the data, you may wipe the data, degaussing is there, you are breaking the hard drives, you are corrupting the hard drives. These are all the anti-forensic techniques. Now, what are the bandwidth challenges in digital forensics? Lack of digitalized records. Manual screening of forensics hampers and do not provide accurate results. The manual screening means, for example, the evidence is collected manually, nothing is automated, nothing digital record is there. Everything is written into the, is it possible to show the imaging using active data imager? Yes, sure, I would, but the time will be constraining me because it is already late. So yeah, let's see if the time allows me. I'll be doing the live imaging. Okay. You can also see my session on autopsy, the forensic image analysis to autopsy. I have a session already there, right? Or sometime later we'll be having a session on it. Okay. Now, lack of digitalized record means basically everything is written manually into the hands still in India, into the police stations also, into the courts also, everything. So the manual handwritten thing sometimes causes errors. For example, when you're writing the serial number of a hard drive, there are a lot of chances you may write 5 S. And if you make a 5 S, the serial number will not be matching. The evidence is done. Whenever you are writing 2, when you are writing 7, when you are writing 9, 8, 5, there are a lot of things like someone's writing is not clear, someone did a mistake in writing the serial number, the actual evidence documentation got lost, the documentation got burned, corrupted, anything. So a lot of challenges are there. Second, lack of integration across departments or domains. Now, whenever evidence is going from police department to the court, to the forensic lab, it is going back to the evidence storage room, a lot of documentation is there. Now, integration is a bigger challenge. If our evidence has to be handled from state police to NIA, they are having their different formalities. If the NIA is giving the evidence to CBI, they are having their different formalities, and they have all their different kind of formats. There is no single thing present till now. Till now, there is no single thing present. In corporate, the forensics is completely different. In armed forces, the forensics is completely different. In government, the forensics is completely different. RFSL, they are in different formats. CFSL, they are in different format. SFSL, they are in different format. And all these becomes a very big mess. The evidence is left behind and all this mess comes into between. Now next, lack of strict norms. The digitalization, storing the digital evidence into a secure form, there is a lack of strictness. I have seen a lot of times the hard drives are being carried into normal poly bags. The hard drive being carried into the normal bags. People are not using Faraday bags. People are not using anti-static bags carrying the mobile phones. People are not using the Faraday bags carrying the laptops or tablets. Nowadays, the devices are having eSIMs. In that case, you will not be able to remove the device network access immediately because the device is password locked. And when the device is password protected, you cannot turn off the internet in some kind of devices. Although there is Bluetooth and different mediums available there. So in that case, if you are not carrying the device into the Faraday bag and the evidence gets lost into the midway, or the evidence is being tampered by remote access into the evidence from the midway, that is another challenge. So there should be strict norms from the government for carrying the devices into the Faraday bags, and all the law enforcement people should be made aware that if you don't carry the evidence into the Faraday bag or the anti-static bag or in the proper bubble wraps into the shrink wraps, because bubble wraps and shrink wraps are also very, very required, because whenever a hard disk is there, if a hard disk is dropping from a height down, its platter may get displaced, the head may get damaged, the inside magnetic tape may get damaged, the PCB may get damaged, and if anything get damaged, the evidence is done. Although it can be recovered later by manual intervention in some cases, only in some cases, but that will again cost a lot to the forensic examiner. So the better is we should carry bubble wraps. How much it costs? It does not cost a lot. Bubble wrap, shrink wrap, the brown bags. Okay, the seal is there. It should be sealed in the proper manner. Now, lack of allocated storage space. I have seen in forensic labs. Honestly, I am telling, if you go to a forensic lab, पेटियों में पड़ी होती है hard disk. The hard disks are bundled into different cartons, and the cartons are left anywhere, above the almirah, below the almirah, anywhere. There are so many hard disks lying on the table, you'll not be able to decide which is of which case. Just sticky notes are on them. That is the lack of proper storage space. We do not have proper evidence lockers in India. In foreign, the evidence lockers are important, but in India, evidence lockers are still not present in many of the RFSs. I'll say most. In less are they present, like the CFSS, the good labs, the bigger labs, they are present. But mostly in the small labs, no evidence lockers are there. So the evidence are lying anywhere, in any condition. And lack of multiple central agencies. Testing the labs for their getting the 70A. Lab has to be 70A certified for being an expert witness. Okay, the lab being certified is also a very big challenge. Most of the labs are not having certified equipment. Their equipments are out of date. Their equipments are not updated. They are not having the required software. Their hardwares are, they are just dead, and they are just mercilessly using it without even updating it. The hardware is not in a condition to work, but still they are using it out and just doing their cases. That is another big challenge, because if the analysis system in which you are analyzing the evidence is not fit for the analysis, the results will never be right, however hard you try. So that is also a very big challenge in India. Now, lack of focus to develop forensic as a field of skill and expertise. Now, what are the challenges in case of students like for you? Why you are here for doing an external internship into digital forensics or cybersecurity? Because the existing degrees, certificates, skill trainings, they are not taking forensics as a field of skill. They are actually taking forensics as a subject. But forensics is actually a skill. You have to develop a proper skill. You have to get a proper expertise and proper knowledge about it. Lack of awareness about the modern techniques, advanced software is again a challenge. If you ask your colleges and go ask them to run UFED or FTK or some kind of modern software like a deepfake identification software, KaiSense or MPED or anything, or you social mapper, or you use like kind of Oxygen, Paladin, no one, they won't be having that information, because actually the textbook, the syllabus, they are not updated. Even I have seen in the places where digital forensics is being taught as a subject, as a degree, in those also they are not focusing on the practical thing. The most focus should be on the practical thing. Until you're not having a hard disk in your hand and a tool in your laptop, and it's connected to your laptop and you're analyzing it, you're deleting or acting some data, you're recovering something, you are not into forensics also. Reading the books or giving a lecture is not into the forensics. You have to do it practically. And watching the videos, doing the courses will also not do anything. You have to do it from your own hand. If I even show you right now how to analyze the evidence into FTK Imager or FTK or any kind of tool, you may understand it for some point of time. You may remember it for 2 days, 5 days, 10 days. After that, again plan. Because until you don't do it, you will never understand. You may learn from me how to use FTK. You may learn from me how to use UFED. You may learn from me how to use the software, but you will never learn from me how to analyze the evidence and how to corroborate the evidence, the artifacts, and relate it to the case. That is most important. For that, you have to use your self logic. You have to develop your brain. Your thinking skills should be developed into the same manner, the same path. As you see the evidence, you are able to figure out what it can be, how I should analyze it, and you should be develop your own path of analyzing a digital evidence. It is one of the fastest growing career into the job market. Okay, and everyone nowadays is going for the forensic. Now, career part to forensics. Now, most people ask me the same question. I've seen, sir, what practical certification do I need to go into digital forensics? I have a lot of questions in here in the chat. Now, talking honestly, you don't need certifications for going into forensics. Don't be shocked by my this statement, but I'm very sure to say you don't need any certification to go into forensics. Certification is a ticket. When you're going to the cinema hall to watch a movie, what is the most important thing? You should have the will to watch the movie. If you're not willing to watch the movie, you'll not even get up from your home. Tickets you can book online into your phone. You'll be booking the tickets of PVR into your phone. But until you don't go physically to the PVR by walking, you are not able to see the movie. And walking and going there takes effort. It takes the will. The willpower should be there. Firstly, you have to develop a strong willpower to go into forensics and stand there, because forensics is a field that requires a lot of patience with passion. Patience means here evidences don't speak. Sometimes they are quiet for a longer time, for years, and you'll be waiting for the evidence to give you something. You'll be not getting any artifact. The cases will be left blank. You analyze it one time, two times, three times, five times, you get nothing. You get exhausted. You throw away the hard disk. No, you cannot throw away the hard disk. You have to be patient. The 15 attempt has to be made, then 5050. Then 50 has to be made exponentially 500 and sometimes 5000 until you don't get it. Until either you don't stop finding it or you don't get it. The second thing is, generally, if you have an associate degree, you have a bachelor degree, you have a post-graduation certificate, you have a master's, you have a doctorate. Any one of these can go to forensics. No single degree is required. A associate can also go, a certification holder can also go, a bachelor degree person can also go, postgraduate can also go, master's person can also go, who is master's in something, okay, like MSc or something, MSc forensic science, who is MTech, who is MCA, anyone can do. Who is a doctorate, he can also do. Okay. I see some questions here. Person will get on contacted with the police department or corporate GRC group or the freelancer. How to get internship in digital forensic lab. Okay, you are a lot of questions here. I am watching it. Okay, fine. I'll be answering each of them. Don't worry. Okay, I'll be answering each of them. Just don't worry. So yeah. Now coming forward, digital forensics has different career roles. These are very less I have put here. You can be a digital forensic technician, investigator, first responder, R&D scientist, analyst, examiner, lab director, a scientist, anything. Okay, you can be anything into digital forensics. The person Kakshi, who is here? Yeah. See, some people here are so impatient. They are just posting here. Please post the quiz link. So if you don't have just this much patience to listen to me, how you'll be doing digital forensics? I am very sorry. Yeah. What is DF first responder? DF first responder is digital forensic first responder. I taught you, what digital forensic first responder does before. He'll be going to the crime scene, he'll be picking up evidences and doing everything. That is digital forensic first responder. Now, talking about the professional opportunity. You have opportunities with law enforcement. Law enforcement is a very big word. It has a lot of domains. State police, state forensic labs, regional forensic lab, district forensic lab, central forensic lab, directorate of forensic labs, then police department, police station, police commissionerate, cybercrime police station, normal police station, CID, CBI, NIA, SFIO, income tax. Okay, if anything is left, I'll be covering more. Except income tax, you also have it with DRI, Directorate of Revenue Intelligence. You have with GST intelligence. Okay, you have it with DRDO. You have it with Indian Navy, Indian Army, Indian Forces. What is left? You can be a professor into the field, into the schools, into the colleges. Okay, you can be a research intelligence analyst, like for example, researcher, or you'll be working to intelligence agencies. Okay, you are giving the government threat alerts. Okay, then next comes the private sector. In private sector, you can join corporate companies. You can join the product development companies, product selling companies, the analysis companies. So a lot of career opportunities there. If you think career opportunity is not there, career opportunities a lot. Just you need a proper mindset and a proper skill. The skill will take you to a proper pathway. Now, cyber forensics is maturing forensic science. Okay. It has excellent career opportunities, and proper education and training is paramount. Now people have question and answers. So now I have gone to question and answer section, and I'll be answering your questions now. So let's start. So let's take random people. Okay. Now, the first question was there from Kushal Rawat. I'll be just taking 10 questions. Okay. Jugal sir, can you please give me a roadmap into getting into digital forensics, excluding certification in the roadmap? Okay, fine. See, if you haven't to go into digital forensics, I will request one thing to you. If you have a bachelor's degree in computer science like BTech, excellent, very good, you are invited. If you don't have it, unfortunately, if you don't have it, don't worry, don't panic. But you should have a proper knowledge of computer devices. For example, if anyone is here from forensic science, I give you example. You have to do a postmortem of a dead body. What is the first and foremost thing you need to do postmortem? Don't touch the knife. Before cutting from the knife, you should know what you are cutting and what you have to cut. I say this is a suspect. It got dead from the poisoning, food poisoning. So basically what you will be taking, these are samples of stomach or intestine. Now for taking those samples, you should at least know where the intestine and stomach is. You are putting up incision into the body and you are taking out the lungs and giving me that, sir, this is a liver. That is not acceptable. That is actually foolishness. Similarly, in digital forensics, whenever you are dealing with a system, you are doing the postmortem of a digital device, of a laptop. Now, what a laptop comprises? Hardware, software, networking. You should be aware of computer architecture, how it is made, how things are arranged. Secondly, you should be aware of what operating system is, how operating system works, what evidences and artifacts I can get from a specific operating system like Windows, Linux. You should know a little bit of command shell and scripting, which will be helpful when you're using Linux. Programming is not mandatory, but it is good if you know it. It will be helping you ease your process for automating digital forensics. Coming next, you should have a knowledge of networking if you're dealing with networks, and you should have basic cyber security knowledge and knowledge of all the computer devices. Like if I give a mobile phone or computer into your hand, it should not be that you're using the mobile phone first time in your life. In that case, you'll not be able to do the forensics. Yeah, sometimes it happens. Some devices come first time into our life and we have not used it. But at least we should know how it is working, what software or hardware it is having, what precautions we have to know while imaging it, while analyzing it. Okay, that will give you a proper analysis. Now, second thing, how to approach an organization to a entity for internship or something, right? First of all, you are doing internship here. Okay, internships are regularly being posted. How to join military? Person posting. See, you have to clear the military norms. There is no specific branch in the army to join cyber forensic. But yeah, if you're going through the technical entry, then you'll be able to join military also. Fine. In a country they are hiring, but requirements are expecting experience of at least 1-2 years. Okay, I'm reading the questions first. How to approach a proper authority? Please tell about your internship at certain, how to apply for it. Sir, I'm in my last semester for masters in cybersecurity. Any jobs in ESET Forte? Yeah, we are offering internships in ESET Forte. We are offering internships in ESET Forte for the freshers, where you can learn and where you can know the things where you can apply your practical skills, work with us, and later if you are perfect, we may have you into the team. Okay, so basically, yeah, digital forensics is a field which is prominently growing into ESEC also, and we are giving internships to it in cybersecurity also. Many other organizations are also there who are providing it. Now talking about government labs. See, for the government labs, you should have two things: a good resume. Now, having a good resume means does not mean you should have a lot of certifications into it. Good resume means you should have some significant work into the field. For example, if I say I want to get an internship into digital forensics, it should not be yesterday night I opened the Google and started studying digital forensics and today I want internship into it. No, I have done some certification into it. Secondly, I have done some project on it. Project is very, very important. I keep it here. Remember my this word project is very, very important. Either you're getting an internship or a job. You do an open source project also in digital forensics. You create on your project only. Very, very required. Project actually shows your practical work done into the field. Certification will not show it. Your resume won't show it. A project will show you have practically applied something, implemented something, experimented something. You have done some research, or you are writing some research papers. The research paper is also showing the same. You are doing some research, you are doing some work into the field. And when you have done into the work into the field, the organization is very, very ready to take you, absorb you into them, and make you work professionally. They will train you everything. The freshers are also getting internships, but yeah, if you have some relevant projects, some relevant work into the field, some certification, it is a very, very good add-on for your thing. Okay. Now applying to government agencies like certain I did it or some other organization, it requires just one thing: a good CV, a good cover letter, mail it to them, and just not mail it to them anytime. Whenever they have taken out the notification, like BPRD takes out the notification for the internship, CBI takes out the notification for the internship. Different organizations, they give their notifications whenever they are posting the internships into the website, which you can check it there. Okay, or have some people who are having uh, contacts there, connections there, from where you can ask, you can contact the officials there that are the internships on. Just have a good CV, just have a good cover letter, apply it there. Whenever you are applying into the CV, it should be clear what is the purpose of internship. If you say, I just want to know what is forensics, I don't think anyone will take you. You should have a proper research project. You should have something crucial which you want to do into digital forensics, something new which you want to do. Okay. So yeah, what I was saying, basically, whenever you are into the any assignments is added after session 9, sir, can you suggest a product idea? But if I'm unable to get a degree, I can go into forensic science. Sir, please suggest some project or you can give some basic idea. Okay, one thing. If you want to know about digital forensics and connect about me, I am taking you to the slide. Note my connection options. You can mail me, you can WhatsApp me on the message, you can email me, whatever you have queries, you can send it here. This is who am I? Please note it properly. Take the screenshot of the slide if you want. You can connect me here and you can ask me whatever the questions you have. Most of the questions about your how to apply, how to work, how to get the internship, I'll be answering it here. Okay. And rest about giving a general pathway, I am just telling you, have a good CV, apply there, you will get the internship. Once you get the internship, try to explore the most. Try to explore the most. Do not just focus on certification, focus on the skill, focus on the practical work. Whenever you are doing something practically, you get a lot to learn than just doing the certification. Okay. Once you're done with that, you are on into digital forensics and you are good to go. And whatever you have said, if you're saying that to think that how will I learn the things, you will be learning as you do it. In digital forensics, whenever you are solving the cases, you are doing something, you will be learning with time. With time, automatically you will be learning it, and with time, automatically you will be implementing it. Once you implement something, you learn it for lifetime. So same as with the digital forensics, practice most of the CTFs. Go to dfi.diva. Dfi.diva is a portal. Go to there. and you can check it out there and see the resources. Okay, dfi.dy is there. Then you can go to the blogs, okay, different channels which are present there. There you can check it out about digital forensics. And most of the doubt, if you have anything, because the session time has been extended, you can basically properly contact me through my contact number, through my email ID or anything, or connect me on the LinkedIn. I'll be guiding you up whatever your queries are there. Okay, so I guess it's all for today's session because we are late a little bit. Okay, one last question I'm getting here. Can we do internship in FSL and cyber department? Will it be helpful to go forward in digital forensics? Divya Girish Trivedi. Yeah, Divya, it will be helpful there. In quiz, the question says that which of the sources is not potential sources of evidence and can answer after submitting shows cloud storage. Can you elaborate why it is not a potential source? I'm really sorry, I'm not aware about the quiz because I'm not prepared it. I'm not taking the quiz for the session. For that, you can please contact the admin or Nikhil sir. Okay. So I'm very, very happy to see Cyber Police Nizamabad also join it. So yeah, one more question. I am doing MSc in cyber forensics and information security from Madras University. What all things I need to become an expert in CF? See, no one is expert in CF. First of all, stop saying I'm an expert in CF. I never write I'm an expert. Say I'm a researcher, say I'm a learner, say I'm an analyst, I'm a examiner, I'm a, you can say digital forensic scientist. I'm a person who is taking out the data. You can say anything, technician, engineer. Expertise is not gained by anyone because technology is changing every day. No one is an expert. My mentors who I have learned with, they are never calling themselves experts. So please refrain yourself from calling an expert because the moment you think you are an expert, you'll stop learning. And once you stop learning, you'll not be able to gain nothing and new things, and you'll be just left behind. So first of all, remember, no one is an expert, and to become an expert, you have to give your time, you have to give efforts. Give your time, give your years, take 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 into your forensic, you will be an expert one day. Okay. So thank you. Here I end up with my session. And if anyone has any questions or something, so please they can mail me out, they can WhatsApp me out. Okay, someone is asking imaging and cloning difference. Someone is asking. See, I've already explained the difference in imaging and cloning, and if you have any other questions, you can ask me personally, you can reach me out personally. I'll be answering it. If an evidence gets corrupted by mistake when we recon about it, then there will be any charge on us. Yes, you'll be behind the bars. You will be put with contempt of court and you will be behind the jail, or your license will get cancelled, or you will get a fine, a hefty fine from the court. Because there are no mistakes allowed in digital forensics. When you are working with evidences, no mistakes are there. You are actually working with the lives of people. Okay, before going, I'll say one thing. Yeah, actually, when you are working in digital forensics, you are working with the lives of people. One evidence you present to the court may end up someone being into the jail for years. May it end up someone losing his complete life. He may get hanged till death. He may be executed. So you are playing with the lives of people in form of some hard disk or digital evidences. So mistakes are not allowed here, and so people don't do mistakes. That's why a lot of experience is required for being a expert witness into the court. That's why a big experience bracket is for the same purpose, so that you don't make mistakes, because mistakes are not allowed here. Okay, and rest questions I'll please drop your LinkedIn profile. Okay, fine. I'll be dropping my LinkedIn profile here. You may connect me here. And if anyone has any questions, they can ask me out into the mediums I have given. I have shared my URL there. Don't be confused what field of cybersecurity you have to go. Just explore it. Whatever fields you go there. There is no foundation for being into a single field of cyber forensics or going to multiple fields. See, it is completely dependent on you, what you are trying to do and what you are trying to learn, how you are trying to apply. It's completely on you. Explore yourself and check it out. Okay. In the comments, I have posted my LinkedIn profile. Just check it out. Okay, sure. I'll be checking my mail. Thank you. So thank you for today joining today, Faizan. Let's close
Yes,
the
sir.
session.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.